of a man.
This one's from a movie.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination.
Imagine, if you will, you're in an alternate dimension, a dimension of sight and sound. Before you lies two doors. You unlock these doors. Oh, I got it.
Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Oh, it's gonna be lit. What's up, John? I'm working on something right now. We're gonna start here in a minute. I'm a little early. There's no,
You're traveling to another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind.
I don't like that one. I like this one the best. Regardless of which door you freely will yourself to choose, you will enter the free will zone. Okay, I got it. This is gonna be lit. I'm doing debate prep. I'm glad there's only 2 people here to watch that. We have a date. Me and Stepfire are gonna debate free will on, I guess, on the Raging Tomatoes, the Raging Tomatoes show on Saturday, the 26th, which is a whack fight card. What time does it start? Let me see. I think it starts at 5. I think it's an earlier card. 314 this Saturday is going to be lit, boys. Let's go. And it starts at 8 p.m. So there's no way I'm missing the main card. Oh, I can't wait for this Saturday. Ian Gary's fighting, and it's 7 p.m., so I'm probably going to miss that. Anthony Smith and Zhang Mingyang. Let's see. This is 7 o'clock Mountain Time. I'm going to start streaming at 6, and then the debate starts at 7. So the debate starts at the same time as the fights. I'll probably be watching the fights on my phone during the debate. But there's nothing good. It's just a fight night. Why does it say fight night Hill versus Roundtree when the main event is Ian Gary versus Carlos Prates? Hill versus Roundtree. Oh, Jamal Hill and Khalil Roundtree canceled. That would have been a better main event. But it's not it's a fight night. So Saturday the 26th, Not this Saturday, not the following Saturday, but the next Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, or like 9:15, I think he said. But like, I'll be streaming at like 8 p.m. Eastern time. You need it. Good one. 8 p.m. I'll start at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We can watch one of the fights. I gotta type this up. I have it all in my phone already. Quite a bit here. And I just read through my one with John. I'm gonna have to rewatch that to make some adjustments, but I'll pretty much go here. And then, so that's a paragraph, and then a paragraph on my alternative, and then this paragraph, and then a basic outline of my main arguments. There's a fourth paragraph, and then a syllogism and a conclusion is like a fifth paragraph. It's like 5 paragraphs. 5 to 7 minute opening. Yeah, that should be perfect. Then we're doing a cross exam. I already have a list of questions. So I pretty much, and I have countless research on this, so. And I've probably spent 1,000 hours debating this, so. I don't gotta do much prep. I just gotta write something up. Which Saturday? The 26th. 26th at like 9 Eastern time. It'll be here. Hopefully Easy doesn't feel like we went behind, like, I don't think you think we went behind his back, but like hopefully he doesn't feel any sort of way about us doing it on Sarah's channel, because we both kind of met on his channel, me and Stepfire. But the only reason we asked her is because we didn't know if everything was okay with him or what was going on, and we set it up. And then he streamed tonight, or he streamed last night, and he seems like everything's doing good and all that stuff's back on. So now I feel kind of, I mean, I don't feel bad, but I don't know, there was no, it wasn't like, oh, Sarah's got a bigger audience or anything like that. It was just, we didn't know what stuff was going on in his life, so we just asked her, or I guess Stepfire asked her. All right. Yeah, UFC 314 is going to be lit this weekend. Dude, I threw my back out at work. My back is jacked. I skipped the gym today because, well, A, my back is screwed up. And B, I had to do some grocery shopping because I got paid yesterday. I need to clean this mouse off. What the heck? Got dust in it. Dusty dust. All right, we got Joshua. We got to get into some Joshua. The book of Joshua. Guess we can just get right into it. What up, King? Chair. Shut up, Nightbot. You hear that, King? Me and Stepfire are debating on Saturday the 26th at 9 p.m. So I guess I'll start hyping it up now. Hopefully you guys will watch over here, or bounce between over there and over here. I've never been on any of Sarah's panels or talked to her or anything. I don't think I've said anything too mean about her other than what I say about all women content creators. That'll be interesting. But I'm not even going to be looking at her chat until maybe afterwards. I don't really look at any chats during debates. It should be fun. I do watch her show a lot, but it's because I haven't gone on her panel because she's usually streaming on weeknights and I work on weeknights. So I listen. Sometimes I'm in the chat and I think I've sent her like a raid once or twice. But I don't really know her. But it seems fine. I don't think there's going to need to be a lot of moderation. It's going to be the first time I'm doing a cross exam in a debate. And I think a cross exam in a free will debate is it's a good idea. Because I have a series of questions that I'm going to ask. And the answers to those questions are going to show that nobody believes in free will. It's going to become very clear if the answers are honestly answered. If you honestly answer this series of questions, by the end, the conclusion is you don't have free will. Oh yeah, did I already write this down? There's one other part of the. I think I wrote it somewhere up here. And I got a syllogism. Oh, I need to write this. Whoa, what am my phone doing? Random. Be interesting to see which way he wants to go with it. After I ask my questions in the cross exam, when it goes to the opening, I'm just going to let him take it where he wants to take it. If he wants to go philosophical or theological with it, either way works for me. Who are you debating? Stepfire. And then Fredo said he wants to do a UVC. We'll have to set that up with Stepfire. Maybe do that on the following Saturday. Because we got whack fights. The 26th and the 3rd. That's what I told Stepfire. I was like, we can do it the 26th or the 3rd because Bo Nichols fighting on the 3rd. I like Bo. That's about it. And they're late cards too. Watch. I'll do these debates when there's late cards, and then no UFC. I'm not trying to do anything on UFC 315. Shevchenko, Gilbert Burns, Grasso. A lot of lady fights, but they're good lady fights. Bilal Muhammad is the main event. I don't really care about that guy. Set Fire on Free Will sounds like a good one. Yeah, we've already kind of had it before. We spent like an hour talking about it before. He's the one that made me think the hardest, because he dropped that love question about love and free will. And I've got a whole thing written on that. So I'm ready for that question. I guess the only two good like gotchas. There's three. How is love possible without free will? How is knowledge possible without free will? And how is theosis possible without free will? So purpose, love, and knowledge. How are these things possible or even meaningful without knowledge? And since I'm I don't know if he's gonna like watch this or something, but because I heard Jay Dyer ask the theosis question. How is theosis or purpose possible without free will? Well, do trees have free will? No. So does a tree not have a purpose? A tree does have a purpose. Tree has a purpose. Rock has a purpose. Dog has a purpose. None of those things have free will. Why is free will required for purpose? Anyway, I don't want to get too deep into all of that, but we're in Joshua. We came, we saw, we conquered. Jericho's walls have fallen. Rahab and her family were saved. Now it's time to divide the spoils. It's time to claim the booty and divide the spoils. Really, they don't divide the spoils. They torch everything except for the gold and the silver, which goes to the treasury of the Lord. It's like a tithe. So, but the land, which is pretty important. The land. We got to divide up this land. And remember, this is not the only place that the Israelites are going to conquer on the other side Jordan. They are going to take all of the land. But they're going to go little by little, develop, grow. Once they've overgrown their area, move on to the next area. So we're starting with Jericho. Jericho's walls are down. The people are proclaiming Joshua's name as the next Moses, the Lord is with Joshua, and his fame was noised throughout all the country. So chapter 7. But the children of Israel committed a trespass in the accursed thing. For Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, took of the accursed thing. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against the children of Israel. Took of the accursed thing. Wonder what they mean by that. Maybe an idol, maybe... Wonder what the accursed thing is. It might tell me here in a second. I'll come back to that because it might tell me. And Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is beside Bethaven, on the east side of Bethel, and spake unto them, saying, Go up and view the country. And the men went up and viewed Ai. And they returned to Joshua and said unto him, Let not all the people go up, but let about 2,000 or 3,000 men go up and smite Ai, and make not all the people to labor thither, for they are but few. So there went up thither of the people about 3,000 men, and they fled before the men of Ai. The men of Ai smote of them about 36 men, for they chased them from before the gate even unto Shebarim, and smote them in the going down, wherefore the hearts of the people melted and became as water. And Joshua rent his clothes and fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of the Lord. I'm like wheezing. You hear that? I think it's my back is like poking my lung or something. What the heck? So they sent 1,000 people up to Ai, and they got ran back. They got ran off. And Joshua rent his clothes and fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of the Lord until the eventide, he and the elders of Israel, and put dust upon their heads. And Joshua said, Alas, O Lord God, wherefore hast thou at all brought this people over Jordan to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites, to destroy us? Would to God we had been content and dwelt on the other side Jordan. Sounds just like Moses. He's taken on the spirit of Moses. He's already talking just like Moses. Moses kept saying the same thing over and over again. Why didn't you leave us in Israel? Why did you bring us out here to die? Why did you do this, God? Now Joshua's doing the same thing. Why did you bring us across the Jordan? Why did you do this? Come on, Joshua, tighten up. And dwelt on the other side of Jordan. O Lord, what shall I say when Israel turneth their backs before their enemies? For the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land shall hear of it. Bro, you only sent 1,000 soldiers. Why didn't you send the whole army? And it shall environ us round, and cut off our name from the earth. And what wilt thou do unto thy great name? Not to mention, some of the Israelites took place in the accursed thing. And God said that would happen. He said, hey, you take place in the accursed thing, your enemies are gonna destroy you. And sure enough, that's what happened. It's almost like it couldn't have been any other way. And the Lord said unto Joshua, Get thee up, wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face? Wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face? Israel hath sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant, which I commanded them. For they have even taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen and dissembled also, and they have put it even among their own stuff. They took some of their stuff. You're supposed to burn everything. They kept some stuff, Joshua. And I told you this would happen. And I told you what would happen when it would happen. And then it happened. And what I said would happen happened when it happened like I said it would happen. Was the accursed thing an act or an event? Let's look it up because I'm not exactly sure. I think it's idolatry. I think the most accursed thing would be worshiping their gods. What is the accursed thing in Joshua 7? The accursed thing was a Babylonian garment, 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold weighing 50 shekels, which Achan, an Israelite, secretly took from the spoils of Jericho, violating God's command to destroy all of Jericho's possessions. Okay, so I think in this case, it's just saying basically the accursed thing is anything that God said not to do. Remember the list of curses that we went through a couple days ago or last week? There was a list of curses. It said, these are the curses. If you don't follow my commands, if you follow my commands, these are the blessings you get. If you don't follow my commands, then you will be cursed. These are cursed things. So in this specific example, So I guess there could be many different accursed things they could have done, but they kept some of the stuff, which is the accursed thing is disobeying God. The accursed thing serves as a warning about the dangers of disobedience and the importance of obeying God's commands. Yep. Later, raw dog. Who are you, raw dog? Are you somebody else or I don't know. I've never seen you. Well, I've seen you before, but okay. Deliver us into the hands of blah 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 blah. They have put it even among their own stuff. Therefore, the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies, but turned their backs before their enemies, because they were accursed. Neither will I be with you any more, except ye destroy the accursed from among you. Up, sanctify the people, and say, sanctify yourselves against tomorrow. For thus saith the Lord God of Israel, there is an accursed thing in the midst of thee, O Israel. Thou canst not stand before thine enemies until you take away the accursed thing from among you. In the morning, therefore, ye shall be brought according to your house, according to your tribes. And it shall be that the tribe which the Lord taketh shall come according to the families thereof. And the family which the Lord shall take shall come by households, and the household which the Lord shall take shall come man by man. And it shall be that he that is taken with the accursed thing shall be burnt with fire, he and all that he hath, because he hath transgressed the covenant of the Lord, and because he hath wrought folly in Israel. And now I think we're about to find out who did what here in a second. Buenos dias, Lizel. Asperger's? What? I don't believe in that. We're about to find out who did the accursed thing and what they did. Yep, the punishment for Achan. So Joshua rose up early in the morning and brought Israel by their tribes, and the tribe of Judah was taken. And he brought the family of Judah, and he took the family of the Zarhites, and he brought the family of the Zarhites man by man, and Zabdi was taken. And he brought his household man by man. And Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, was taken. Well, they got it on the first try, so that's lucky. This would have taken all day. And Joshua said unto Achan, my son, give, I pray thee, glory to the Lord God of Israel, and make confession unto him, and tell me now what thou hast done. Hide it not from me. And by the way, Achan, a pillar of fire is going to roast you to a crisp after you confess it, just so you know. No, he doesn't tell him that. I think it was a coin or an idol. Google says it's 200 shekels of gold and a Babylonian garment. And Achan answered Joshua and said, indeed, I have sinned against the Lord God of Israel, and thus I have done. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment and 200 shekels of silver. See, we didn't have to go to Google. The answer's right here. 200 shekels of silver and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight. Then I coveted them, and I took them. And behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it. He took it and buried it. So Joshua, so Joshua sent messengers, and they ran unto the tent, and behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it. And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua and unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Lord. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan, the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedge of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had. And they brought them unto the valley of Achor. And Joshua said, why hast thou troubled us? The Lord shall trouble thee this day. That's fire. That's base. Yo. Yo, why have you troubled us? The Lord's going to trouble you today. Why hast thou troubled us? The Lord shall trouble thee this day. I like that. He about to be troubled. If you call getting burnt to a crisp, troubling. Why hast thou troubled us? The Lord shall trouble thee this day. I'm going to have to use that. Yo, why are you troubling me? The Lord's going to trouble you today. And all Israel stoned him with stones and burned them with fire after they had stoned them with stones. Little overkill. That's like the definition of overkill. And they raised over him a great heap of stones unto this day. So the Lord turned from the fierceness of his anger, wherefore the name of that place is called the Valley of Achor unto this day. Dun, dun, dun. Got him. Got him. You know, why are you troubling me? The Lord's going to trouble you today. Stones and fire? She's looking for the fire emoji. Stones and fire? We need the fire, Seesaw. We need the fire, Seesaw. It's not just stones, it's stones and fire. And stones on fire. People back then didn't want to get stoned. I know. Now everybody want to get stoned. Now you get stoned at the dang stone shop. Where's the fire, Seesaw? Chapter 8. This is the capture of Ai. Because remember, they've just failed capturing Ai because, there you go, there's the fire. They failed capturing Ai because Acon and young Jeezy, gonna take it easy. Acon, spelled A-C-H-A-N. Acon. Because Acon was harboring stolen merchandise. He did the accursed thing. So they lost Ai the first time. Now they're going to walk up in there and mollywop Ai. And the Lord said unto Joshua, fear not, neither be thou dismayed. Take all the people of war with thee, and arise, go up to Ai. See, I have given into thy hand the king of Ai, and his people, and his city, and his land. I mean, I don't mean to sound blasphemous, but you didn't need God to figure that out. You sent 1,000 men up. They had more than 1,000 men, so they beat you. Now send the whole army, and they're just gonna surrender. No, but they also had God at their back. I think, regardless, even if they had sent the full army the first time, that they would have still failed because God wasn't with them. And remember, it's not Israel winning these battles, it's God winning these battles. And thou shalt do to Ai and her king as thou didst unto Jericho and her king. Only the spoil thereof and the cattle thereof shall ye take for a prey unto yourselves. Lay thee an ambush for the city behind it. So Joshua rose and all the people of war to go up against Ai. And Joshua chose out 30,000 mighty men of valor and sent them away by night. Yeah, this is a way better plan. Instead of sending 1,000 men in broad daylight, send 30,000 men at nighttime. Battle's going to go differently. He's about to get stoned by Seesaw for his blasphemy. Well, I mean, come on. You sent 1,000 dudes and you lost, and then you get all mad like, oh, we lost. Bro, you have 30,000 soldiers. What are you doing? And he commanded them, saying, behold, ye shall lie in wait against the city, even behind the city. Go not very far from the city, but be ye all ready. And I and all the people that are with me will approach unto the city, and it shall come to pass, when they come out against us, as at the first, that we will flee before them. Oh, this is a way better strategy. This is a way better battle plan. For they will come out after us, till we have drawn them from the city. For they will say, they flee before us, as at the first. Therefore, we will flee before them. So they're saying, since the first time they sent 1,000 guys to fight Ai, and Ai ended up killing 33 of them, and they ran away scared because they were going to lose. Now they're going to have 30,000 guys hiding in the dark, and they're going to send 1,000 of them up, and they're going to start a fight again. They're going to run and they're going to get chased and they're going to run into an army, a real army. Then ye shall rise up from the ambush and seize upon the city, for the Lord your God will deliver it into your hand. You know, I've heard people say Americans won the I'm not a super history buff. They say Americans won the war against the British. You know, like the movie Patriot, The Patriot, because we learned to fight from the natives during the, I don't know if it was like the French Indian War or some other war we fought where we dealt with Indians, and the Indians would sabotage. They would hide in bushes and they would jump out of the bushes, whereas the British and the Americans who had just come from England and Europe and stuff, when they fought wars, they would line up and they would just shoot at each other. And it was so stupid. And so then when the British were invading America and we were fighting them in the Revolution, we used tactics that we learned from the Indians to hide in the bushes and jump out on them and ambush them and sabotage them and set up traps and hide from them and camouflage and all these other things. And they say that's why we won. Like, but I'm thinking, as I'm reading this, I'm like, the Indians didn't make that up. It's in the Bible. They were doing that in the Bible. So it's not that like we learned some amazing new war strategy from the Indians. They were doing this in 4000 BC, fighting honorably face to face. Yeah, I think it's dumb. Yeah, quote unquote honorably. Because it's not even like they were fighting. They would just stand in a line and shoot at each other. It's dumb. This makes no sense. But we didn't, like, people act like, oh, it's all thanks to the great ingenuity of the Indians that we figured out how to defeat the Brits. We could have figured it out from reading the Bible. And it shall be when ye have taken the city that ye shall set the city on fire, according to the commandment of the Lord shall ye do. See, I have commanded you. Joshua therefore sent them forth, and they went to lie in ambush, and abode between Bethel and Ai, on the west side of Ai. But Joshua lodged that night among the people. I'm saying Injuns. Injuns ain't got no honor. Pff, pff, psh, psh. Injun. Yeah, there you go. That's how you spell it. Injun, number 9. And Joshua lodged that night among the people. Joshua, already read that. Okay, and Joshua rose up early in the morning and numbered the people and went up, he and the elders of Israel, before the people of Ai. And all the people, even the people of war that were with him, went up and drew nigh and came before the city and pitched on the north side of Ai. Now there was a valley between them and Ai. And he took about 5,000 men and set them to lie in ambush between Bethel and Ai on the west side of the city. And when they had set the people, even all the host that was on the north of the city, and their liers in wait on the west of the city, Joshua went that night into the midst of the valley. And it came to pass when the king of Ai saw it, that they hasted and rose up early, and the men of the city went out against Israel to battle, he and all his people, at a time appointed before the plain. But he wist not that there were liers in ambush against him behind the city. He didn't know that behind the city and on that side of the valley and on that side of the valley and on that side of the valley, there was a lot more people. It wasn't just the 5,000 that are obviously standing here at the bottom of a valley like, hey, Ai, let's fight. We could take you this time. We brought a few more people. No, they brought a lot more people. I get the impression I'm pissing you off for some reason. What? What are you talking about? Because I said that you spelled engine correctly? Well, your intuitions are off, Gorilla Biscuits. I don't know what even gave you that idea. And Joshua and all Israel made as if they were beaten before them and fled by the way of the wilderness. And all the people that were in Ai were called together to pursue after them. And they pursued after Joshua and were drawn away from the city. And there was not a man left in Ai. What did I say to him? All I said was, yeah, that's the way you spell it, because you spelled it correctly. Don't go. No, don't go. I don't know who he's talking about. What did you say to him, Seesaw? Engines, potato, tomato. What? It's potato, tomato. Those are two different plants. Yeah, the only thing I said is yes, engines, because that is how you spell it. He spelled it correctly. Anyway. Why is everybody so sensitive? Gorilla is a proud Native American. Oh, is that it? I don't think anybody said anything. I don't know. Everybody's so sensitive in the Bible studies. Dang. Nobody can take a dang joke. Where was I? Yeah. If we're insulting your people, I'm sorry. Not really, but you can make fun of Seesaw. She's Mexican. She's a Mexican. And the Lord said unto Joshua, stretch. Where was I? Where the heck was I? And it came to pass. Okay. They didn't know there were liars in ambush against him behind the city. And Joshua and all Israel made as if they were beaten before them and fled by the way of the wilderness. And all the people that were in Ai were called together to pursue after them. And they pursued after Joshua and were drawn away from the city. And there was not a man left in Ai or Bethel that went not out after Israel. And they left the city open and pursued after Israel. That's not a good idea. And the Lord said unto Joshua, stretch out the spear that is in thy hand toward Ai, for I will give it into thine hand. And Joshua stretched out the spear that he had in his hand toward the city. And the ambush arose quickly out of their place, and they ran as soon as he had stretched out his hand, and they entered into the city and took it, and hasted and set the city on fire. And when the men of Ai looked behind them, they saw, and behold, the smoke of the city ascended up to heaven. And they had no power to flee this way or that way. And the people that fled to the wilderness turned back upon the pursuers. And when Joshua and all Israel saw that the ambush had taken the city, and that the smoke of the city ascended, then they turned again and slew the men of Ai. And the other issued out of the city against them. So they were in the midst of Israel, some on this side and some on that side, and they smote them, so that they let none of them remain or escape. And the king of Ai they took alive and brought him to Joshua. Oops, not looking good for the king. And it came to pass when Israel had made an end of slaying all the inhabitants of Ai in the field, in the wilderness wherein the city chased them, and when they were all fallen on the edge of the sword until they were consumed, that all the Israelites returned unto Ai and smote it with the edge of the sword. And so it was that all that fell that day, both of men and all the men and women were 12,000, even all the men of Ai. For Joshua drew not his hand back wherewith he stretched out the spear until he had utterly destroyed all the inhabitants of Ai. Only the cattle and the spoil of that city Israel took for a prey unto themselves, according unto the word of the Lord, which he commanded Joshua. And nobody better keep no dang trinkets this time. And Joshua burnt Ai and made it an heap forever, even a desolation unto this day. And the king of Ai he hanged on a tree until eventide. And as soon as the sun was down, Joshua commanded that they should take his carcass down from the tree and cast it at the entering of the gate of the city, and raise thereon a great heap of stones that remaineth unto this day. Then Joshua built an altar unto the Lord God of Israel in Mount Ebal, as Moses the servant of the Lord commanded the children of Israel, as it is written in the book of the law of Moses, an altar of whole stones, over which no man hath lift up any iron. And they offered thereon burnt offerings unto the Lord, and sacrificed peace offerings. And he wrote there upon the stones a copy of the law of Moses, which he wrote in the presence of the children of Israel. And all Israel and their elders and officers and their judges stood on this side the ark, and on that side before the priests, the Levites, which bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, as well the stranger as he that was born among them. Half of them over against Mount Gerizim, and half of them over against Mount Ebal, as Moses the servant of the Lord had commanded before, that they should bless the people of Israel. And afterward he read all the words of the law, the blessings and cursings, according to all that is written in the book of the law. There was not a word of all that Moses commanded which Joshua read not before all the congregation of Israel, with the women and the little ones and the strangers that were conversant among them. Nice. The Gibeonites. Next, we're going to learn about the Gibeonite Treaty. You say she's Mexican, like that's something worth making fun of, you jerk. I'm just saying. You know? I'm just saying. Seesaw gonna get deported. Seesaw. Trump's in office. People are getting deported left and right. You need to be careful, okay? You need to go get your MS-13 tattoos covered up. You need to cover up that dang My Crazy Life tattoo you got on your eye. The 3 dots. Okay. Chapter 9. The Gibeonites get a treaty. Chapter 9. And it came to pass, when all the kings which were on this side Jordan, in the hills and in the valleys, and in all the coasts of the great sea over against Lebanon, the Hittite and the Amorite, the Canaanite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite heard thereof. For the 100th time, I was born here. Yeah, that's what Obama said too. Whoever heard that one before? That, that they gathered themselves together to fight with Joshua and with Israel with one accord. And when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done unto Jericho and to Ai, how come Seesaw's tougher than a lot of these men on the internet? How come Seesaw can take a roasting and keep on coasting? Anybody else, dang, getting their feelings hurt. Dang, unsubscribing. I can't join the panel. Oh, man. And Seesaw was here for like 3 years before she even got to be a mod. Getting roasted every day. All right. When the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done, that they gathered themselves together to fight with Joshua and with Israel with one accord. Wait, they're all getting together? And when the inhabitants of Gibeon, heard what Joshua had done unto Jericho and to Ai, they did work willily, and went and made as if they had been ambassadors, and took old sacks upon their asses, and wine bottles old and rent and bound up, and old shoes and clouded upon their feet, and old garments upon them, and all the bread of their provisions was dry and moldy. And they went to Joshua unto the camp at Gilgal, and said unto him and to the men of Israel, We be come from a far country. Now therefore make ye a league with us. And the men of Israel said unto the Hivites, Peradventure ye dwell among us, and how shall we make a league with you? If you happen to dwell with us. So the other nations heard about what happened to Ai and Jericho, and they're like, uh-oh, Israel's here. Let's join forces to fight them. But the Gibeonites, or the Hivites, the Gibeonites, who are Hivites, instead, they decided to disguise themselves. They took off all their nice armor and their garments and their robes, and they put on old shoes and sackcloth, and they made themselves look like traveling nomads. And they wandered into Israel, and they said, hey, can we stay with you guys? Can we join forces with you guys? Now, either this is a setup or they're afraid. But since it's called the Gibeonites Get a Treaty, I think that I think they're afraid, and they really want to join forces with Israel. Can't beat them, join them. And how shall we make a league with you? And they said unto Joshua, We are thy servants. And Joshua said unto them, Who are ye, and from whence come ye? And they said unto him, From a very far country. Thy servants are come because of the name of the Lord thy God. For we have heard the fame of him, and all that he did in Egypt, and all that he did to the two kings of the Amorites that were beyond Jordan, to Sihon king of Heshbon, and to Og king of Bashan, which was at Ashtaroth. Wherefore our elders and all the inhabitants of our country spake to us, saying, Take victuals with you for the long journey, and go to meet them, and say unto them, We are your servants. Therefore now make ye a league with us. This our bread we took hot for our provisions out of our houses on the day we came forth to go unto you. But now, behold, it is dry and it is moldy. And these bottles of wine which we filled were new, and behold, they be rent. And these our garments and our shoes become old by reason of the very long journey. They're lying to Joshua. And the men took of their victuals and asked not counsel at the mouth of the Lord. And Joshua made peace with them and made a league with them to let them live. And the princes of the congregation swear unto them. And it came to pass at the end of 3 days after they had made a league with them, that they heard what they were, that they heard that they were their neighbors, and that they dwelt among them. And the children of Israel journeyed and came unto their cities on the 3rd day. Now their cities were Gibeon and Chephirah and Beoroth and Kirjath Jearim, Kirath Jearim. And the children of Israel smote them not, because the princes of the congregation had sworn unto them by the Lord God of Israel. And all the congregation murmured against the princes. But all the princes said unto all the congregation, We have sworn unto them by the Lord God of Israel. Now therefore we may not touch them. This we will do to them. We will even let them live, lest wrath be upon us, because of the oath which we swore unto them. Yeah, but you swore an oath under false pretenses. They were lying to you. And the princes said unto them, Let them live, but let them be hewers of wood and drawers of water unto all the congregation, as the princes had promised them. So make them slaves. And Joshua called for them, and he spake unto them, saying, Wherefore have ye beguiled us, saying, We are very far from you, when ye dwelt among us? Now therefore ye are cursed, and there shall none of you be freed from being bondmen and hewers of wood and drawers of water for the house of my God. So Joshua figured it out. He figured out bro, they didn't come from a far way away. They're like our next door neighbors. And they're like, we were going to wipe them out next. And they came over here and lied to us, but we made an oath in front of God not to hurt them, not to kill them. So let's honor our oath, even though we made it under false pretense, even though they're lying scoundrels. We made an oath. Let's stand by our oath. We won't kill them, but let's enslave all of them. Based. Maybe Gorilla is new to the interwebs. Yeah, I don't know. And they answered Joshua and said, because it was certainly told thy servants how that the Lord thy God commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. Therefore we were sore afraid of our lives because of you and have done this thing. And now, behold, we are in thine hand, as it seemeth good and right unto thee to do unto us to do. And so did he unto them, and delivered them out of the hand of the children of Israel, that they slew them not. And Joshua made them that day hewers of wood and drawers of water for the congregation and for the altar of the Lord, even unto this day, in the place which he should choose. So they're slaves forever. Slaves forever. Forever. Chapter 10. Dude, Joshua's kind of based. Except for that one part where he complained. Don't be complaining to God. You sound like Moses. Oh, the next part's cool. This chapter, the sun and the moon. This is when God stops the sun and the moon. Now it came to pass. This is a crazy name. When Adonai Zedek, king of Jerusalem, had heard how Joshua had taken Ai and had utterly destroyed it, and he had done to Jericho and her king as he had done to Ai and her king, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were among them, that they feared greatly, because Gibeon was a great city, as one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than Ai, and all the men thereof were mighty. Wherefore Adonai Zedek, king of Jerusalem, sent unto Hoham, king of Hebron, and unto Piram, king of Jarmuth, and unto Japhiah, king of Lachish, and unto Debir, king of Eglon, saying, come unto me and help me, that we may smite Gibeon, for it hath made peace with Joshua and with the children of Israel. Therefore the 5 kings of the Amorites, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, gathered themselves together, the 5 kings, and went up, they and all their hosts, and encamped before Gibeon, and made war against it. And the men of Gibeon sent unto Joshua to the camp of Gilgal, saying, slack not thy hand from thy servants. Come up to us quickly, and save us, and help us. For all the kings of the Amorites that dwell in the mountains are gathered together against us. So Joshua ascended from Gilgal, he and all the people of war with him, and all the mighty men of valor. And the Lord said unto Joshua, fear them not, for I have delivered them into thine hand. There shall not a man of them stand before thee. And Joshua therefore came unto them suddenly, and went up from Gilgal all night. And the Lord discomfited with them before Israel, and slew them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, and chased them among the way that goeth up to Beth Horon, and smote them to Azekah and unto Makkedah. And it came to pass, as they fled from before Israel, and were in the going down to Beth Horon, that the Lord cast down great stones from heaven upon them. What? Unto Azekah, and they died. They were more which died with hailstones than they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword. Dude, great stones from heavens, hailstones. God made it hail. I'm thinking these are big old God hailstones. Boom. That could kill a dinosaur. Then spake Joshua to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou, moon, in the valley of Ajalon. This is when the sun stood still. The sun still sleeps. And when she wakes. Okay, question. If we live in a heliocentric system, when God told the sun and the moon not to move, then wouldn't that mean that the earth would continue to rotate and keep flying through space? Well, if we live in a heliocentric universe, the sun doesn't move. The earth is moving. So, you could take from this either is geocentric and he stopped the sun and the moon. And actually, geocentrism is coming back. I don't know if it's the center of the universe, but it could be. Earth could be the center of the galaxy. I don't know. I don't believe in flat Earth, but I'm not 100%, married to the heliocentric system. But a way you could explain this is God stopped the Earth. But it says he told the sun and the moon to stand still. But it could also just mean that he froze time, or he froze. I don't know. Let's keep reading. Hold on. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day. And also, that debunks flat Earth. And there was no day like that before it or after it, that the Lord hearkened unto the voice of man, for the Lord fought for Israel. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, unto the camp to Gilgal. But these 5 kings fled and hid themselves in a cave at Makkedah. And it was told Joshua, saying, the 5 kings are found hid in a cave at Makkedah. And Joshua said, roll great stones upon the mouth of the cave, and set the men by it for to keep them. Dang, he locked them in a cave. Savage. Sorry, I was just reading more before I go back into that. He never told the earth to stay still, just the moon and the sun. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. If you take it, if you want to take it, you'd have to say that you'd have to go geocentric, and that the sun revolves around the earth. You're going to have a big problem with science with that one. The moon rotates around the earth, right? Does the moon rotate around the earth? Or does it just sit there and the earth spins and they both go together? Anyway, I don't know. I'm not a dang astronomist. Joshua was ruthless. I know. He put that stone in front of the mouth. It could just be God says, sun, stay still. I don't think this disproves the heliocentric model. I think he's just speaking words that we would understand, because to us, from our perspective, the sun moves and the sun just stopped and the moon stopped, which the way science Well, science wouldn't explain this. Science would just say it's crazy, it's nonsense. So what we're trying to use science to explain a miracle, talking about heliocentric and geocentric and gravity and all these other things. You can't explain this with science. From our perspective, the sun moves. So he says God commanded the sun to stay still. What I take that as is God stopped time. But he didn't actually stop time because the fight was still happening. So it's like Goldo from Dragon Ball Z in the Frieza saga. When Goldo would hold his breath, time would stop, but Goldo could still move around. It's kind of like that. It's like the moon revolves around the earth at a rate of about 27.3 days. Yeah, so there's no problem with stopping, God saying stop to the moon, and the moon stops. But then the sun, maybe you either have to say the sun actually rotates around the earth, you go geocentric with it, or you say that this is just like alliteration of what really happened is God just stopped time from progressing. And it's not the first time he does this. He did the same thing. No, it is the first time because it happens again in Isaiah. He gives Isaiah, right? Was it Isaiah or is it just in the book of Isaiah? It's in Isaiah. Not sure if it happens to Isaiah. I think it does, but he gives him 3 extra years. He like reversed time on his life. Science says that this never happened, that it couldn't happen. Yeah, I know. So there's really no point in trying to use science to explain this. It's a miracle. It's maybe he froze the universe. So then regardless of whether the sun's going around Earth or Earth's going around the sun, he just stopped the universe. But those people were still fighting. But yeah, science would just say that this is nonsense. So it's kind of, you can't really talk about it scientifically. It's a miracle. I don't understand it. Okay, so then Joshua locks up the 5 kings of these places in a cave. And stay ye not, but pursue after your enemies, and smite the hindmost of them. Suffer them not to enter into their cities, for the Lord your God hath delivered them into your hand. And it came to pass, when Joshua and the children of Israel had made an end of slaying them with a very great slaughter, till they were consumed, that the rest which remained of them entered into the fenced cities. Oh, what's up, Jeremy? I ordered my power supply and my case yesterday. I should get the power supply tomorrow and then the case by the 11th. So I'll probably get both of them tomorrow. But I got the case and the power supply on the way. I ended up I didn't go with the 1,000-watt gold Corsair. I went with a 1,300-watt platinum Lee Edge power supply. Because I don't ever want to have to change my motherboard or my power supply ever. Because the power supply and the motherboard is all the mess. Everything else, plug it in, it works. If I can keep from having to change the case, the motherboard, and the power supply, I can change RAM, I can change processor, I can change GPU, CPU, RAM, hard drive, fans, cooling, all that stuff I can alter over time. And just, I gotta And it was only like $20 extra to get the 1300. And plus, the system I'm building uses 647 watts, and I was going to get a 1,000-watt power supply. But that's with like a 4070 or a 3090. If someday 2 years from now on Cyber Monday I get a 5090 Ti or something, then my power usage jumps up to 900 watts. So instead of getting a 1,000-watt future proofing, I'm getting a 1300. And it just so happens to be platinum. I didn't specifically pick it because it was platinum. I know we talked about that. I don't really care too much about the platinum part, but they have a 1,200 gold, but there weren't any available. They were out of stock, so I just got the 1,300 platinum. It was like $20 more than the power supply that I was gonna get, but 1,300 watts, that'll be good for. I can do upgrades for a while with that. And it's a new design. It's the Lee and Lee Edge. It's a different style power supply. It's shaped like it has like a L instead of having the power supply and all the cords just go in the top or in the side. It has like a L bar or like a L that comes out, and some of the cords go on the bottom part and some of the cords go on the side part, and they say it makes it no thing as a 5090 Ti yet. Thank you, CSAL. He's gonna get timed out in every. Oh, well, I don't. That message was okay. Best comedy show this side of the Great Pyramids. That was all right, but this one, yeah, we don't need to know about that. No such thing as with the PSU will degrade over time and deliver less power, so having more capability will account for that loss as well. Yeah. The lower bar probably makes it easier to attach cables. Yeah. It makes it more I watched some reviews of it and everybody's like, "Yeah, this is so much better. It's so much easier, it's so much cleaner. It's better for cable management, it's better for." And it's got, I don't know what this means, but it's got a USB hub on it. And all the reviewers were like, "This is really cool. I don't know why power supplies don't do this." And it's cool that they finally do it. But there's four USB connections on the power supply, which is not something that is normally. I'm looking at photos of the PSU. Yeah. You see where it says 4 USB hub or something like that? Won't time me out today because I'm not flirting with another woman. Shut up. That's useful for lighting controls. Yeah. I had to buy an internal USB hub for my RGB lighting. Yeah, that's what the dude was saying. He's saying usually you have to have a separate USB hub for all your lighting to go into, and then that goes into your power supply. But on this one, it already comes with that built in. So you just hook all your lights up to that. So that's cool. Now all I need is well, I say all I need. I actually need quite a bit still. I still need all I need for the computer is a graphics card and the cooling unit. But I also need Windows, and I also need monitors, and I also need. I'm gonna get monitor arms that you like mount to the table, and it has 2 arms and you put 2 monitors on it. So I still need 2 monitors. I need the monitor arm things. But that's not all necessary. Really, I just need 1 monitor, a cooling system, and a graphics card, and Windows. So I'm almost there. You can run Windows in trial for 30 days. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have to buy Windows right away. If I run Windows in trial and then I get Windows later and I install the Windows that I get later, does it like reset the whole system and I have to do everything over again? Or does it just, my Windows is my Windows and it just makes it permanent? Literally, the ISO can be downloaded right from Microsoft. Just enter the key at activation. I thought I needed a thumb drive or because the options are digital download, thumb drive, and disk. I'm not going to have a disk. I have a disk drive right here. I wonder if there's drivers for this thing. This is a DVD player. I have a DVD player, DVD burner. I don't think it plays Blu-rays, but it burns DVDs. And it burns CDs. And it plays DVDs. Right here. But it's old as dirt. It's old. I have the wires for it, but I don't even know if they make drivers for it anymore. I'll try to hook it up whenever I get the computer going. I haven't never tried to do it on my laptop. You can make an installation thumb or burn to CD from the ISO download. Yeah, but I don't have a CD drive unless I can get this thing to work, and I don't know if it will. Does it turn on? It's not plugged in. Oh, I don't think I have a power cord for it. I've been running Windows 10 trial for 6 years for free. What verse is talking about USB? I'm getting sidetracked. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do is get the USB stick. Use Rufus or the Windows image tool to make a USB thumb drive to install. I don't know what that means. I don't know what any of that means. You're speaking a foreign language to me. Just download the ISO and use Rufus or Windows image tool to make a USB thumb drive to install. What? Yeah, I don't know what that means either, Seasal. You're not the only one. I think I'm just going to buy the thumb drive version. It's software names. If I just buy this thumb drive version and just stick a thumb drive in and get it from that. What's a BIOS flash button? You have to upgrade your BIOS when you start the computer for the first time. And my motherboard has a BIOS flash button. So they say that I don't have to find the drivers. I just hit that button and it finds the most. When you get that point, I can help you on Discord. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, once I get it built, I think I can build it. I know I can build it. If I build it, they will come. I know I can build it. I'm just worried about the after that point, the software and the all that jazz, the BIOS and the Windows and the I don't know if there's any good like programs I need to get. I don't know if you know of any good like free antivirus stuff or what sort of stuff I should download and all that stuff. Don't need Rufus. Literally only need the downloader from Microsoft website and a blank 32 gigabyte USB stick. I don't have a USB stick, so I might as well just order. If I order Windows digital download and I buy a 32 gig USB stick, why don't I just buy it with the US? Why don't I just buy the one that comes with the USB stick? Microsoft Imager tool thing. So what, you make like a digital thumb drive somehow so that you don't need to. Anyway, do not need to mess with the BIOS button. Should be good out of the box. Hopefully. Everything I've said that first time you turn it on, you have to update your BIOS. Anyway, where were we at? Where were we at? We locked these kings in a cave. Oh. Don't get into the weeds on this now. Yeah, let's go step by step. let's get the parts. Let's get it built. Let's get a monitor so that I even have a screen to hook it up to. I don't even have a screen to hook it up to yet, so I'm getting overwhelmed. Okay. Verse 21, the 5 kings are captured, and all the people returned to the camp to Joshua at Makkedah in peace. None moved his tongue against any of the children of Israel. Yeah, you better not move your tongue. Then said Joshua, open the mouth of the cave and bring out those 5 kings unto me out of the cave. And they did so and brought forth those 5 kings unto him out of the cave, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon. And it came to pass, when they brought out those kings unto Joshua, that Joshua called for all the men of Israel and said unto the captains of the men of war, which went with him, come near, put your feet upon the necks of these kings. And they came near and put their feet upon the necks of them. And Joshua said unto them, fear not, nor be dismayed. Be strong and of good courage. For thus shall the Lord do to all your enemies against whom ye fight. You're going to put a knee on their neck? Dang. And afterwards Joshua smote them and slew them and hanged them on 5 trees. And they were hanging upon the trees until the evening. And it came to pass at the time of the going down. See, you can tell it's a different writer because it says evening. In Moses, it never uses the word evening. It always says at even. Now they're starting to say evening. So you can tell time is passing. And it came to pass at the time of the going down of the sun that Joshua commanded, and they took them down off the trees and cast them into the cave wherein they had been hid, and laid the great stones in the cave's mouth, which remain until this very day. And that day Joshua took Makkedah and smote it with the edge of the sword, and the king thereof he utterly destroyed them. And all the souls that were therein he let none remain. And he did to the king of Makkedah as he did unto the king of Jericho. Then Joshua passed from Makkedah and all Israel with him unto Libnah, and fought against Libnah. And the Lord delivered it also, and the king thereof into the hand of Israel. And he smote it with the edge of the sword, and all the souls that were therein, he let none remain in it, but did unto the king thereof as he did unto the king of Jericho. And Joshua passed from Libnah, and all Israel with him, unto Lachish, and encamped against it, and fought against it. Dang, we're just going one after the other now. And the Lord delivered Lachish into the hand of Israel, which took it on the 2nd day and smote it with the edge of the sword. And all the souls that were therein, according to all that he had done to Libnah. Then Horam, king of Gezer, came up to help Lachish, and Joshua smote him and his people until he had left none remaining. Until he had left him none remaining. And from Lachish Joshua passed unto Eglon, and all Israel with him. And they encamped against it and fought against it. And they took it on that day, and smote it with the edge of the sword. And all the souls that were therein he utterly destroyed that day, according to all that he had done to Lachish. And Joshua went up from Eglon, and all Israel with him, unto Hebron, and they fought against it. And they took it, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and the king thereof, and all the cities thereof, and all the souls that were therein. He left none remaining, according to all that he had done to Eglon, but destroyed it utterly, and all the souls that were therein. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, to Debir, and fought against it. And he took it, and the king thereof, and all the cities thereof, and they smote them with the edge of the sword, and utterly destroyed all the souls that were therein. If I can turn the page, that were therein. He left none remaining, as he had done to Hebron, so he did to Debir, and to the king thereof, as he had done also to Libnah, and to her king. So Joshua smote all the country of the hills, and of the south, and of the vale, and of the springs, and all their kings. He left none remaining, but utterly destroyed all that breathed, as the Lord God of Israel commanded. And Joshua smote them from Kadesh Barnea even unto Gaza, the Gaza Strip, and all the country of Goshen, even unto Gibeon. And all these kings and their land did Joshua take at one time, because the Lord God of Israel fought for Israel. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, unto the camp to Gilgal. Dun, dun, dun. We'll read one more chapter. I rarely mess with BIOS updates. I thought you had to update the BIOS. The motherboard you bought is already 9XXX series ready. That means all current drivers you will need are already installed. Good. 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 That's what I expected. All right. One more chapter. Oh, my back is so messed up. Oh. Dude, I pulled something like right in here. I stretched and I stretched and bent wrong, and it's all jacked up. It sucked working last night. What up, King Blackout? All right, one more chapter. We'll stop at chapter 12. Yeah. All right, chapter 11. This is Joshua defeats Jabin, and it came to pass when Jabin, king of Hazor, had heard those things, that he sent to Jobab, king of Madon, and to the king of Shimron, and to the king of Achsaph, and to the kings that were on the north of the mountains, and on the plain south of Chinneroth, and in the valley, and in the borders of Dor on the west, and to the Canaanite on the east, and on the west, and to the Amorite, and to the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Jebusite in the mountains, and to the Hivite under Hermon in the land of Mizpeh. And they went out, they and all their hosts with them, much people, even as the sand that is upon the seashore in multitude, with horses and chariots very many. And when all these kings were met together, they came and pitched together at the waters of Merom to fight against Israel. And the Lord said unto Joshua, Be not afraid because of them, for tomorrow about this time will I deliver them up all slain before Israel. Thou shalt hoof their horses and burn their chariots with fire. Thou shalt hoof their horses and burn their chariots with fire. So Joshua came, and all the people of war with him, against them by the waters of Merom suddenly, and they fell upon them. And the Lord delivered them into the hand of Israel, who smote them and chased them unto the great Zidon and unto Mizrephoth-maim. Mizrephoth-maim, and unto the valley of Mizpeh eastward. And they smote them until they left them none remaining. And Joshua did unto them as the Lord bade him. He hoofed their horses and burned their chariots with fire. And Joshua at that time turned back and took Hazor and smote the king thereof with the sword. And Hazor before time was the head of all those kingdoms. And they smote all the souls that were therein with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying them. There was not any left to breathe. And he burnt Hazor with fire. And all the cities of those kings and all the kings of them did Joshua take and smote them with the edge of the sword. And he utterly destroyed them as Moses the servant of the Lord commanded. But as for the cities that stood still in their strength, Israel burned none of them, save Hazor only. That did Joshua burn. And all the spoil of these cities and the cattle the children of Israel took for a prey unto themselves. But every man they smote with the edge of his sword until they had destroyed them, neither left they any to breathe. As the Lord commanded Moses his servant, so did Moses command Joshua, and so did Joshua. He left nothing undone of all that the Lord commanded Moses. So Joshua took all that land, the hills and all the south country, and all the land of Goshen, and the valley and the plain, and the mountains of Israel, and the valley of the same, even from the Mount Halak that goeth up to Seir, even unto Baalgad in the valley of Lebanon, under Mount Hermon, and all their kings he took, and smote them and slew them. Joshua made war a long time with all those kings. There was not a city that made peace with the children of Israel, save the Hivites, the inhabitants of Gibeon. All other they took in battle. For it was of the Lord to harden their hearts, that they should come against Israel in battle, that he might destroy them utterly, and that they might have no favor, but that he might destroy them as the Lord commanded Moses. There again, we see the how God controls mercy, and God controls God will stop people from doing things. God will also cause people to do things that seem stupid. The Pharaoh, when Israel was in Egypt, multiple times the Pharaoh was like, okay, I don't want any more plagues. I'm gonna let him go. But God specifically hardened his heart. Here we see again God hardening their hearts. They know they're gonna lose. They don't want to fight Israel. They want to run. They want to bend the knee. They want to give up. But God hardens their hearts and makes them fight because God wants to destroy them, and God's going to destroy them. And there's no other way. There's no other way it could happen, and there's no choice to do anything differently. Pharaoh wanted to choose to let the Israelites go, and God didn't even let him. God hardened his heart. Because that's the way the story goes. And at that time came Joshua and cut off the Anakims. Oh, we learned about them. They got giants. The Anakims from the mountains, from Hebron, from Debir, from Anab, and from all the mountains of Judah, and from all the mountains of Israel. Joshua destroyed them utterly with their cities. There was none of the Anakims left in the land of the children of Israel. Only in Gaza, in Goth, and in Ashdod there remained. So Joshua took the whole land according to all that the Lord said unto Moses. And Joshua gave it for an inheritance unto Israel according to their divisions by their tribes, and the land rested from war. Dang. So tomorrow we have the division of the land, which I think I kind of titled this stream wrong. That's the title of next stream, tomorrow's stream. To the victor go the spoils should be the title tomorrow. Today's title should be The Many Battles. The Many Battles of Joshua. The Many Battles of Joshua. Tomorrow is To the Victor Go the Spoils. So if you see the same title of the stream tomorrow that you saw today, I changed the title today. Tomorrow is when they're going to divide the land. Territory allotted to Judah, Hebron given to Caleb, Canaan divided by Lot, inheritance east of Jordan. All of that's coming up tomorrow. It's probably the slowest part of Joshua, of the book of Joshua, because basically for like 5 chapters, they're just gonna the lands of Benjamin and Simeon. They're gonna build the territory of Manasseh, the territory of Ephraim. It's kind of just for the next like 5 chapters, so like all day tomorrow, it's kind of just it's going to get kind of repetitious with a lot of names, and they're just dividing up the land. So like for example, it looks like this a lot. Libnah and Ether and Ashan and Jiptah and Ashna and Nezib and Keilah and Aknib and Rarashan, 9 cities with their villages. Ekron with her towns and her villages, from Ekron even into the sea. Ashdod and their villages, Ashdod and their towns and her villages. Gaza with her towns and her villages. And in the mountains, Shamir and Jatir and Danah and Kirjathsonah, and which is Debir and Anab and Eshtemoth and Anim and Goshim and Holon and Golah. It's gonna be like that for like the next 5 chapters. They're just dividing up territory. So the part where Caleb gets his land is my favorite. That is in there tomorrow, so we'll probably read that tomorrow. But then they reconcile the tribes. They have a dispute over the altar. They build another tabernacle. Yeah. And then that's pretty much it for the book of Joshua. We're not done yet. We'll those are 24 or 25 chapters. 24 chapters. It's 24 chapters, so we're halfway through in 2 days. So we'll hopefully we can finish all of Joshua by Friday. If I stream every day, today's Wednesday. Thursday morning. Friday morning. 2 more days. If I stream Thursday and Friday, we can get through all of Joshua in 1 week. 4 days, basically. It's like 6 chapters, 24 chapters, 6 chapters a day. Technically, to be on pace, we need to read chapter 12. So I'm going to go ahead and read chapter 12. Just to give you a little hint of what we're going to be looking at for the next 5 chapters. So chapter 12. Now these are the kings of the land, which the children of Israel smote and possessed their land on the other side Jordan toward the rising sun, from the river Arnon unto Mount Hermon, and all the plain on the east. Sihon, king of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, and ruled from Aroer, which is upon the bank of the river Arnon, and from the middle of the river, and from half Gilead, even unto the river Jabbok, which is the border of the children Ammon, and from the plain to the sea of Chinneroth on the east, and unto the sea of the plain, even the salt sea on the east, the way to Beth Jeshimoth, and from the south under Ashdoth Pisgah, and the coast of Og, king of Bashan, which was of the remnant of the giants that dwelt at Ashtaroth, and at Edrei, and reigned in Mount Harmon, and in Salcah, and in all Bashan, unto the border of the Geshurites, and the Maacathites, and half Gilead, the border of Sihon, king of Heshbon. Them did Moses, the servant of the Lord, and the children of Israel smite. And Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave it for a possession unto the Reubenites, and the Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh. And these are the kings of the country which Joshua and the children of Israel smote on this side Jordan, on the west, from Baal-gad in the valley of Lebanon, even unto the Mount Halak, which goeth up to Seir, which Joshua gave unto the tribes of Israel for a possession according to their divisions. In the mountains and in the valleys and in the plains and in the springs and in the wilderness and in the south country, the Hittites, the Amorites, and the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. The king of Jericho won. The king of Ai, which is beside Bethel, won. The king of Jerusalem won. The king of Hebron won. The king of Jarmuth won. The king of Lachish won. The king of Eglon won. The king of Gezer won. The king of Debir won. The king of Geder won. The king of Hormah won. The king of Arad won. The king of Libnah won. The king of Adullam won. The king of Makkedah won. The king of Bethel won. The king of Tapua won. The king of Hefer won. The king of Aphek won. The king of Lasharon won. The king of Madon won. The king of Hazor won. The king of Shimron Meron won. The king of Achsaph won. The king of Taanach won. The king of Megiddo won. The king of Kadesh won. The king of Jokneam of Carmel won. The king of Dor and the coast of Dor won. The king of the nations of Gilgal won. The king of Tirzah won. All the kings 30-1. All the kings 30-1. Is that what's his name was talking about on James's stream last night? Because he kept saying 20-1, 20-1, 22-1, 22-1 or something. I was like, what is he talking about? He's saying the fallen angels 20-1, 20-1. It doesn't ever tell us how many fallen angels there were. There were 30 kings. But these are not fallen angels. Anyway. That part where... Oh, you already read that. Okay. So we finished off 12. That way, we're halfway through. And we do six chapters tomorrow and 6 chapters the following day. Then we'll have knocked Joshua out in 1 week, 4 days. Done with Joshua. And then we move on to Judges. Judges is where Solomon and Judges. Samson is Judges. Yep. We're coming up on the story of Samson. We're coming up on Samson. Yep. Then Ruth. Ruth's only 4 chapters long. We'll do Ruth in a day. We'll handle Ruth in a day. Judges is pretty cool too. Judges is also one of my favorite books. Because Simpson. Samson is painful. Yeah, it is. sure somehow you can derive 42 out of that. Words are hard. Jamaria. Gematria Smanatria. Gematria Sinatria. No, that guy Joker was on James's stream and he's like 22 and 1, 22 and 1. That's how many angels there were. Echo, what are you doing? What are you doing? We're about to go lay down. I'm going to watch some Righteous Gemstones. Yeah? Dude, that show's hilarious, but it's getting kind of, I don't know. I don't know why everything's got to have gayness in it. Why they got to put gayness in everything? Everything got to have some gayness in it. You know? Are you doing the debate on Grid Stream Saturday night? I don't know anything about that. I don't know what that is. I heard that he's trying to do something like VK. I don't know. I might take a peek at it. If the panel's going slow over here. Well, no, this Saturday I'm watching UFC 314. I might not even let people on the panel. I might just do a call with Daddy Jub. I don't know. It depends on who it is, because sometimes he doesn't want to stay in the Discord call when the fights are on. Because we start talking about like stuff he doesn't care about, and he'd rather just watch the fights. He's doing a cash payout for first and second place. That makes it pretty tempting, but I'm wondering if people like should be saying that. Because wasn't the whole thing with Mr. Beast, like, if you're doing, I'm not trying to get nobody in trouble. I don't want anybody to get in trouble with YouTube and like something happen in their channels. Because I know that if you're doing like any sort of sweepstakes or contests, there's a lot of strict rules to that stuff. So I wonder if that's like kosher. You know what I'm saying? For people to, I don't not saying they should stop, and I'm not gonna snitch. I'm just curious. I like winning money. But no, we got some big fights this Saturday. Are we going fishing with Bryce Mitchell? Bryce Mitchell's gonna whoop Satan. That demon. Fight Nerd's gonna take a L this week. And we got Patty the Batty. And then we got Volkanovski and Diego Lopez. That's gonna be a good fight. Hopefully Volk is on point. This should be good. But the Bryce fight's gonna be fire. I agree with MMA Guru. I think Bryce wins. I think Bryce chokes him out. I think Bryce chokes him out round 2. Bryce chokes him out round 2. That's what I think. All right, let's see who I can redirect to. Jim Bob's not live. All right, we did Hake yesterday, so today we will go to Angry Conservative. He needs his view time. So even if you're not gonna watch, just leave it on your phone or leave it on your computer or something and let AC get some view hours. But no, I probably will not be joining Grid's thing that he's doing. Maybe some Saturday I will. I'm not totally writing it off because I like money. I like winning money. But we got big fights. We got big fights. We got big fights coming up on Saturday, boys. It's a big card. UFC 314 pay-per-view. Let's go. All right. Go say what up to Angry Conservative for me. I'll talk to you guys later. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to finish Joshua this week. Deuces.